زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back, dear listeners, to another little episode of Connect with the Quran for this Ramadan special. And we're in a rush to just benefit as much as we can in this Ramadan from this beautiful month. This is another beautiful surah in that it's small, it's pithy, it's to the point, and it's just giving it to you as it is. And if you can memorize it, learn it, live it, the beautiful thing about is like in Al-Qariya, we were doing a scene from the Akhirah, what's going to happen. Our weight is going to be the worthless, so it's going to be heavy, and we just pray every little thing we do, even, especially in Ramadan, you know, you get bonus points, it's multiplied, it's like going to a beautiful sale, and everything is, in the sale you want the price to be as low as possible. In here we want our prices to be as high as possible of a tiny little good thing that we did. I even just put the plate on the table, or I took the glass from the kitchen, from the table to the kitchen, or I even washed it. Imagine all the reward for it, only for the pleasure of Allah, is that's why we're doing it. The brownie points we need to be earning is for the Akhirah. So here is another beautiful surah which is just telling you that the mutual al-hakum mutakathur, this al-haq is a term, it's got multiple meanings. It's about mutual rivalry, that I'm competing with you, you've got something, I want it, so I'm going to go all gung-go and want to get it also. Or it's also me against, I just have a compulsiveness about, no, this isn't enough, I've got 10,000 gadgets and I want the other one and the other one, whatever it is. And many others of just piling up on the dunya. And you know, this is the opposite, is, I'm just bringing it in for you, there's a concept of minimalism. And maybe at my age you'll come and then you'll start thinking, really, 3 pieces of clothing is more than enough, 5 maximum, extended even 10 maximum. But this is the thing of the simplicity, that you're able to wind down, you're able to, but Allah is telling us, even in our heydays, we are all about al-haqqu muttakasir hatta zurtum al-maqabir. And what do you do until you get to the grave? So it's like, until that time, we're just racing in this dunya. And the beautiful example I got from a tafsir was, it's like, you know, these are things which are just distracting us in life. It's just, you know, distractions. Lahu is also from the same root, which is about entertainment. Entertainment is a periphery thing. It's, yes, if I've been studying till I'm blue in the face, I've been trying to memorize, so then I can take a chill pill for a minute and just relax for a bit. But that's the concept of entertainment. Entertainment is not something like you're being on your laptop playing those stupid games for the whole day, whole night. You don't know when it's morning, when it's evening. And our phones are addictive. They're extremely addictive. God forbid, we can even possibly be missing our salah, because, and so the example they give is like, either you're at the airport, the main thing you're there for is to catch your flight, but you get hooked on this and you forget, you don't even hear the boarding being called out, and so on and so forth. And by the same token, about being at the qabr, is it's also saying that, you know, when you have a flight to catch, you're going to leave everything. So no matter if my mom's telling me, here, take your last samosas, you're going on the flight, you'll need it, this or that or anything, you say, no mom, either just give it, or otherwise I'm going, I don't have time for it to be packed, or any other such thing. Once I'm on the other side, I'm past boarding pass and I'm into the flight, then maybe I'll give you a call. But the sense of urgency is the flips. So this reminding you that till qabr, you're going to be just you know, wasting your time. And what is it? It's a time that we waste most of all until we get to the qabr. So it's al-hakum mutakathir hatta zurtumul maqabir, until we see the qabr. And kalla sawfa ta'lamun. And then no, when is it that you're going to know? ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. When is it that you're really going to know that what's happening? It's just like reiterating is that in this is you're reiterating to drive home the point that, what will explain, what is it gonna show you that you will know, and you'll know with a certainty of a mind when you come to it. La tarawunna al-jahim, it's when you will see. No, before that is kalla la ta'lamuna ilm al-yaqeen. You'll know it for a fact with your yaqeen when you see it. When la tarawunna al-jahim, when you see the blazing fire. God forbid that be our role, and that be what we come to, but that's what we will get to. So and then you will see it with the certainty of the eye, and then shall you be questioned on the day about the joys, about the time wasting thing that you indulge in. ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم, and then you will be asked on that day about the na'im, all the good things of life that you enjoyed, but they were also temporarily. The other beautiful thing that comes around, this idea that even the qabr, we know, is only a preview to get to the akhirah. So actually, even if it's been millennium from the time of the Pharaoh and others that they're in their qabr, and that time looks a long time to be in the qabr, but in essence, compared to the akhirah, to the afterlife, khalidina fiha abada, it's here forever. Compared to that, the qabr is nothing, and for us, if the qabr seems long, our life is totally a fraction. How fast these years are flying, how it's this Ramadan, and soon, inshallah, it will be another Ramadan, and the whole year's gone by and it's compressed. So, this idea of geometric progression, that everything in leaps and bounds. First, time used to meander along, so now it seems like it's racing. And we all say that. Maybe it's an age factor, or maybe it isn't. But sometimes, that's what you often, and it's not that we're saying it, we've heard this from our grandparents also. Time is just in a rush, and time is just moving. And in the next surah, we'll see how how people are in khasara. So that we'll get to when we get there. But this is it, that, ثُمَّ لَتُسَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ, and you will be questioned of all the things on that day of how you time wasted. So this takathur, it is from having more and more. Yeah, and inshallah, it also comes in a good way much later in another surah. We'll wait for it when we get there. But it's like just piling up. It isn't enough. And if we look at our homes, even if it's small homes, big homes, and this is the beauty. A sheikh once said that, don't worry, even if you go to villages, even if people have got mud houses, but the capacity to want to collect for the rainy day, for this, for that, for whatever it is, it's just compulsive in us. It's like in Adiyat, we were talking in this links with Adiyat, is, what is it? Insana lakanud, that insan is so ungrateful. He's lihubbil khairi la shadid. He has this hope for all good things, and it's just wanting. If you can get to the point when it's so beautiful, when you can see somebody have a beautiful thing, and you say, wow, good, I got to see it up close, whatever it is, a gadget or something. Oh, so this is how that's, whether it's a Fitbit or one of those things, whatever it is, and you can be so happy. I'm glad you have it. I'm so glad I don't have that gadget. And even on things like that, all these things that measure us, this and that. I love the idea. I know somebody who even if he's been gifted a Fitbit or anything, he just does his own thing of walking, whether it's, and the beauty thing is you can keep your life so simple. You don't need to have a membership or a gym. You don't need to have it. You can be walking up and down. Even if you have got a tiniest of homes, if you're living in an apartment, you can be walking up and down the corridor of the passage. If not there within your own home, you can be going round and round. Even if this is all I have as a space, you can. And then beautiful thing is you can be using your tasbih. So by the time you've said 33 times subhanallah, you've done maybe 2 minutes of walking. Now, whether it's 10,000 steps, whatever, but basically what I'm trying to say is that the flip side of al-hakum takathur is try and be content with what is your lot. If we do, now people are coming down. Before it used to be samosa, pies, this, that, bhajiyas, the whole works for iftar. Now, as we have moved on upwards in a scale of status, so we said, no, today we'll just have pies, tomorrow we'll just have samosas, third day we'll have just this, maybe. And some said, no, but growing kids, they weren't born knowing that you have to have all these things. If you gave them something simple, dates, water, and that's it, they don't even need that fancy milk or something. Yes, it gives them energy. You can go blue in the face thinking of whatever you want, of this is good for them, this is good for them, they must have this, they must have that. Yes, maybe, so be it. But when we are supposed to wake up for suhoor, the idea is you wake up, you are in gratitude to Allah, and you have something, and you get some maybe salah before fajr, you get your fajr. There is that purpose, but it isn't to pig out on it. It isn't to just be a glutton, which is what we end up being when we open our iftar sometimes, you know. So yes, now we're all health conscious, now we're on this diet or that diet or banting, whatever it may be, do what you can, but just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Now, to get to these fancy diets, you buy something, this free, that free, that free, that free, which ends up costing that much more than your poor little white bread or your poor little whatever you used to have. So I'm not suggesting one or the other, but just look where your intention is. The dunya is hooked to grab you and always extend you, hooking you into it. And that's why I love that saying, and I've repeated it many times, is how have the dunya in your hand, not in your heart. Don't be chasing the dunya. And if you do say, Ya Allah, today I really just only have dates and water, I have nothing, there goes the doorbell, and inshallah, somehow, I mean, you don't have to wait really with your eye like this, waiting at Ya Allah, when are you going to send the doorbell, and when am I going to get something more than this? But invariably, you know, from your heart, Allah hears your heart, what you need, where you are. And believe me, those moments when you just thought of it, Ya Allah, today I felt like this, and lo and behold, it just happens. So those kind of miraculous moments is what we need to connect. If we memorize these surahs, if we are reading them in our salah, it's just going to be so wonderful. It's just going to be so, and these are now shorter and shorter surahs, but they're so full of meaning, so full of just powerful things. So truly, from Izazul Zilatul Ardu Zilzala, from 99 down to 114, if you can memorize them, yay. For ourselves, not for anybody else, but it's really a beautiful feeling. And inshallah, next time I'm going to try and share with you some cues of how we learned how to try and memorize. My own little personal thing is itemizing the ayahs, al-hakum at-takathur hatta zurtum al-maqabir kalla sawfa ta'lamun thumma kalla sawfa ta'lamun, and that's how I will go. And even when I'm saying it in my salah, you're not supposed to move your fingers, and you don't do any of that, but visually, if you can, you're at ayah 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever it be. So those are the beautiful things, and maybe sometimes I enjoy it so much to be able to share these things, and I wish, especially for youngsters, if we can get them on the ball to be doing this, their minds are fresh and they can be memorizing so much more than what I'm recommending to you. So may this Ramadan be a beautiful time for us to dwell inwardly and just benefit from it in the best of ways, and this is just a small means of trying to do that. So with that, I'll just greet you. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa akhiru da'wahum anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.